This is my impression of a dog entering a house it's never been in.
Welcome to Soundheads. I'm Sophia Massad.
And I'm Tristan Todd.
And this is Soundheads, where we get into the minds of the music industry.
A quick shout out to Gilson at 33rd Street Studio for letting us use. Amazing talent over here. If you need anything recorded, any mixes, anything,
Yeah,
give 'em
Gilson.
your business.
So this week we have Pabu on set, and we will be asking them all kinds of questions. How are you guys doing?
Good. How are you? Welcome to our Pabcast.
That's what we were waiting for the whole time.
Is this your podcast?
Okay,
Okay, interview us now.
Yeah.
All right. If you could be in any tribute band, what would it be?
We're starting off.
What tribute band would you be?
If I could pick any band to be a tribute, I'd pick Ghost.
Like a real ghost, and you wouldn't be one? Okay,
Yeah. Like a Scooby-Doo ghost.
awesome. Take it away.
Well, all right. Well, what an intro. I love that. Yeah, just kind of give us, I guess, a quick synopsis of your musical background, where you guys started, and then how you got to where you are today, I suppose.
Like as a band?
Yeah,
or
start as a band, or
individually?
you can each start individually of your own, like,
Yeah, I wanna hear your
musicianship or
backstories.
yeah, I want your anime backstory right now.
Uh-oh. Cue the anime intro. Pabu started in 2019 and started with me and Parker Ray, Milo Sonder. We worked at Tower at the time and wanted to make a band. It happened. Parker knew Luke and he knew David also, so we just pulled all of us together, and I had a bunch of songs I'd already written and shared them with everyone. That was like summer of 2019. We played a few shows and then COVID happened, and we've just been putting out music since then, coming back, playing more shows. We've got some music videos, just hanging out. That's my
Nice.
synopsis.
What's your synopsis?
Yeah.
So none of that actually happened. I wrote all the music,
Gotcha.
Yeah.
and then these guys. No, yeah, that's about it for the band. It's been the same lineup the whole time, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So.
Nice. So did you play any shows before COVID, I guess?
We played
what, like 2 or 3?
3 shows.
How
Yep.
were they? Were they like, we're new
were
and we're
life-changing.
here? Like, what was your experience like starting right before COVID and then COVID happening and now like coming back?
It was an interesting experience for me personally in general, just because I've never been in a real band before that. So
Still
I remember how, like, it's really weird the amount of nervousness that happened, like, on our first show and our second show compared to, like, now.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if when y'all play, it's like you're just, like, hanging out throughout the day and you're like, I'm going to go play a show, and it's probably going
Yeah.
to go some way. I don't know. Like, the first time we played a show, I, like, spent the whole day. I was, like, running through the songs, getting ready and all that. It felt cool, but I think coming back from COVID was really exciting because everyone was super stoked to just be at a show.
Yeah. Were you guys able to like get together and write during COVID and all that? Or
Yeah,
did you?
we
Okay,
did. We
nice.
took, like, a bit of a hiatus when it first started,
Right.
but came back strong. I think it was, like, June or July of last year, 2021.
That's
And
awesome. Yeah.
been just doing stuff ever since.
Nice. So do you write most of the songs and then like bring them into the band? What's your writing
Overall,
process like as a
yeah. There
band?
you
Yeah.
go.
Basically, like, coming up with a demo and then sharing it and seeing what it turns into.
Yeah.
My personal writing style has always been in front of a DAW, so, like, in front of Ableton or, like, Logic if I was back in high school. But, like, it's really hard for me to just, like, sit down with a guitar or a keyboard or something and be like, here's
Yeah.
a song with some lyrics.
Right.
I like to put all the instruments together and hear the whole thing. I think that's,
Okay.
like, the production background too.
Yeah.
It's like hear what it sounds like as a whole and then take it to everyone and be like, here's, like, the drum part that I was thinking.
Right.
You don't have to do that, but, like,
Something similar.
not even that. Just like, this is
Okay.
what I was
Okay.
thinking. What are
Yeah.
you thinking?
Yeah.
Here's also one without the drums.
Yes.
I like
I think
that.
just, like,
That's
putting
really
it together
cool.
as a whole first and then dissecting it from there is an interesting way to do it.
Totally. Kind of gives it more of a direction too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And right now we're kind of trying to write some new stuff also, but also experimenting with other ways to write songs other than that. So we'll keep you updated.
Nice.
I like
Yeah.
that though. That's really like an interesting way of writing songs. I mean, I feel like most of the artists that I've worked with in the past or whatever have always been, like you said, that like sit down on a piano or guitar or whatever and just kind of strum it out or pick it out until they get a verse and a chorus or whatever it is, and then they bring it to a band. And so, I mean, Ratfink that we had the other week, he was kind of the same way of like, he kind of like did a lot of the like songwriting through a DAW like Ableton and stuff, and then brought it to the band. And I feel like that's such like a it honestly is almost like a more creative way, I feel like, of writing songs than if you are just sitting at an instrument by yourself kind of doing it, because you have access to so much more, I feel like. But I think that's like a really interesting way of songwriting in general, and I've noticed myself even transitioning into that like form of songwriting, so I think that's really cool.
I think just like being born in this era, that's like, you know, you can get Logic for like $200 or something in high school, and then just like, or even GarageBand, and then at that point you can just do whatever. It's limitless.
Don't hate on Logic. It's a good place.
No, I
Garage
came from
Band.
Logic.
No, I mean, it's not easy to put together an entire compilation for your band. Cheers.
Yeah.
It's very,
Thanks, I guess.
very cool.
And like I said, we've been like trying some new stuff and getting
Yeah.
together and being like, okay, let's just like someone come up with something and go around the room and add to it. And it's an interesting take for sure, especially since we had like a big pandemic happen in the middle of like peak time after launching the band. It was like, here's this catalog of songs that I made for the band. How are we going to move past that and do new stuff?
Yeah, totally.
And, yeah.
So give me like individual backgrounds. Luke, we'll start with you.
Musically, I always thought bass was cool, just because, like, I don't know.
I mean,
I remember I was
agree.
at like a
You don't have to have a reason.
some like church camp, and there's a cool bass player. He was like definitely not your typical church band dude. Like, I don't know, he was just a cool guy, and I thought that guy's cool. And then I saw he broke a string, and I just looked at him like, that string's so big. I love bass.
I love bass.
And I like started like,
And a bass player was born.
well, it made me think like, well, that's just a piece of wood with a piece of metal stretched on it really tight, and they make sounds with it, and that was cool to me. And so I'm like, I'm gonna try to get one. And my dad bought me like a cheap little pawn shop like Washburn bass that I still have, and I just played that. Like, I kind of learned by ear, I guess. Like, I'd like to like play along to like TV intros and like just like
Cool.
That's really cool.
like movies I had on like VHS or like video game soundtracks. I would just like to like pick through that. And so I never I
That's so
don't know
cool.
much about theory, but I learned a lot of like, I think more as like shapes in my head,
Yeah.
like what to do on the instrument and where it might work, like from other stuff I've heard in the past. But that's kind of where it started. And then like every 16-year-old in 2010 who's ever seen a bass, I liked the Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Nice, yeah.
So a lot of that influence, and then like old, I don't know, like stuff my dad listened to, a lot of like Paul McCartney, Wings, stuff like that, like the more melodic. Even like James Taylor's got a lot of cool little like, just stuff my parents listened to. And like my taste in music's pretty trash, so I just let everyone else like do it. I'm like, I'm gonna try to play that. So I'd be like, hey mom, look, I learned this. And be like, oh cool. And then it kind of translated. I met Parker a long time ago. We were playing in a youth band at church. That's where me and
Youth
P
band.
met. He played guitar and I was bass, and that whole group was just friends. And so it kind of went from there. Me and Parker played music, I mean, ever since then. And so I guess he knew Ben from ACM or the Tower, I guess. But, and then that's how I ended up here, I guess.
Nice. That's
Right
super
on.
cool. I feel like it's kind of a lost art to like learn an instrument by ear. Because
Oh,
nowadays,
yeah.
like kids these days, they can just like
Yeah.
Google the song
Well,
they want,
yeah.
you know?
I
YouTube it.
definitely looked up a lot of tabs.
Yeah.
But like
Yeah.
just in general, like
ultimate
as
guitar.
Yeah.
like stripping it down to like what I actually liked, like outside of performing, it was
Right.
just nice to my brain to be able to like make the same sound the TV was making.
Yeah, no, that's cool.
And
Just
so
comforting.
I don't know.
No, that's
But
really
that's
cool.
that's about it. There's not a lot of like structure or like theory or anything in how my brain processes music, which I think is cool.
Yeah,
No, that's
I dig
really
it.
cool.
I feel like it's less stressful that way. I'm just like
Yeah.
stupid and happy, like, you know, instead
there's a
of like
ton of
hearing all
Sounds
these
nice.
nuances and stuff. But at the
Yeah.
same time, it's nice because like Ben, obviously, I think you hear all those nuances and stuff that I don't, or like other people in the band too. And so it's fun to work like that. I don't know.
It's a different perspective,
Yeah.
for sure.
Cause like Ben, like he was saying with the demos and stuff, like he'll have a bass part, a drum part, like, and it's all sick. It's like, why would I change any of this? But then you do. It's like so, but I
It
don't
almost
know.
doesn't even happen intentionally either.
Yeah,
It's like just the
but-
way you play makes it different.
No, yeah, I'm like the best bass player. But that's
Oh,
about
yeah?
it. I don't know. Yeah.
I feel like not having a background in theory too, from what I've just like noticed while we play together, is like what you said about you can hear something and be like, oh, I've heard that in this song.
Yeah.
It's like if you don't know theory, you're not like, oh, that goes from this chord to that chord. You're like, that sounds like this other song, so I know where to go with it.
Yeah, that's how I
that's
process
pretty wild.
stuff.
No, that's
It's like that sounds
really
like
cool.
But yeah. That's all I got to say about that.
Nice. Ben, where did you come from?
Let's see. I came from Stillwater.
Well, welcome.
Hattie. I got a guitar when I was like, did you hear that? I got a guitar.
I got one of them guitars.
Once I started, it doesn't
Stilly's
stop.
coming out.
I was 13, and my dad got me an acoustic guitar and some guitar lessons at Daddy-O's. And
Is that his room? Or is that a place?
Yep, that's just Dad's place. Yeah,
What do you
that's
call
like
this
that
room?
was the one music shop in Stillwater, and started learning songs with my guitar teacher. I played, dude, I was like expert level Through the Fire and Flames on Guitar Hero 3, so I was
my
like
gosh.
really wanting a guitar.
Yeah, like I can do this.
Yeah.
Did
You know,
it
you like
translate over well?
close your eyes and listen to like the shredding parts and be like, that's me on stage.
Yeah.
right
Did you guys ever do that?
I used to do that.
Yeah.
I used to air guitar in my bedroom when I was like 11 year old
Yeah.
or whatever. I'd just be like, "That's gonna."
I
be
did
me
that,
one
but
day."
it was High School Musical.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Anyways,
Troy Bolton over here.
That's a-
that was a different time.
Gotta get your head in the game.
And then I got an electric guitar after a while. I grew up listening to a lot of different things, but like when I first got into playing guitar, it was like Avenged Sevenfold and Bullet for My Valentine and some of that, like whatever would play on 100.5 The Cat,
Yeah.
and
butt rock.
yeah, that kind of stuff. So I had like this, cheap PV modeling amp that could like gain up to sound like it was like 500 DS1s.
Oh my God.
And then like just tap metal riffs. It was stupid. I had this like
It's a great way to
Was it a
learn.
PV
Honestly,
Spider
yeah.
With all the like little.
it was a PV Spider. No, it was a Viper. It
Oh,
was
the
a PV Viper.
Oh,
Yeah.
Line
God.
6, I think, there's a Spider maybe.
Yes.
It's like the same amp.
Yeah. That's sort of how I got into like non-classical music. I was in band and I was in choir and theater and all that in high school, and that was like obviously a different world, but also loved doing that. I played trumpet for a long time, and then when I told my band director I wanted to quit, he somehow convinced me to play baritone. I don't know what happened. I walked out of baritone, and so I couldn't be in the jazz band. They were like instituting a new jazz band that year, and I was like, I want to be in it, but I can't. There's like no jazz baritone. So I got to play guitar in the jazz band, and at that time I was learning a lot of jazz with my guitar teacher, and then carried that into college and played jazz band in college and went to ACM and just sort of took off from there.
Nice.
Very cool. So do you play trumpet now?
Sometimes.
When?
Depends on the day.
When can we hear it?
We force Ben we exploit him to do a cake cover sometimes. And we make
Hey,
him use the trumpet, but
We would like to hear that right
Yeah.
now.
it's pretty much at gunpoint.
Drop the
Yeah,
sample
trumpet.
right now.
That's awesome.
I hear it's in my pocket.
What if you had like one chance to go back in time and you just went to a Pabu show? Like you could go to any.
What a waste! What a waste!
If you go back to any show, what Pabu show would it
Someone's
be?
listening to this podcast and they're like, I found out time travel. I'm gonna go back to this. They just get
Yeah.
stuck there like a week in the past. Could have gone to the 60s, the 1700s.
Why choose the Beatles when you could choose Pabu?
Thank you.
Okay, so kind of switching gears. What's your favorite song to perform, each of you? What's that moment, you know?
There are two different moments because our songs sort of range from like alternative to sort of heavy sometimes.
Yeah.
And the heavy parts growing up as a metalhead was like playing parts that I know are like,
Yeah.
hardcore.
They
It
make
feels,
you do the face.
yeah, it makes you do the nasty, the Queen of England face. It's
Yeah,
like-
you're like,
Right. A staying face.
So the heaviest song we have is called Scrape Me Silver, and it's on Spotify, and that goes pretty hard. And playing that song live, I like always run into either him or Parker
Yeah.
sometime during that song. So
Nice.
that's how crazy
Good.
it gets during that. That's just fun because of energy. But then we have a song called Adam Driver that is like really kind of emo, very nostalgic sounding, that a lot of people come up and say like that was like my favorite part of the set during, and that's
we're
cool
just
to
about
hear.
to say I actually really like
Yeah.
that song from you
Nice.
guys. That's probably
One
like
of my
my
faves.
favorite of your guys.
That song is really fun to play. 'Cause everyone comes up and they're like, I really dug that, and like you can see people jamming out to it when you
Yeah.
play it. It's like my worst mix I've ever done on, on any of our songs, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, it's
No,
so
it
bad,
sounds
dude.
good.
Your ass.
I'm trash.
Whatever you did worked though.
Yeah,
It like flows really well on a playlist too.
nice.
I'm a
Thanks.
real like Spotify playlist maker
Really?
as well. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Cool.
Don't listen to them. I mean, they're not good.
Don't listen to
Besides
that.
the
Don't
Pabu,
listen
but-
to Pabu. What's your favorite
what's
part
your
of
moment?
the show?
Well, yeah, that same song, Scrape Me Silver, Ben always makes like this funny noise. You do like the bleh. and I always laugh.
Can we get an example of that?
There you go.
But that's always exciting to look over and see Ben make a funny face and make a funny sound at the same time. So it's not funny, it's metal. It's super metal.
It's
Yeah, it's
super
serious.
serious and metal.
But I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like I usually make eye contact with you at least one or two of those during that song. And it warms my little heart.
Oh,
Aw.
that's sweet, buddy. I love you.
Love you too, man.
I'm glad I
But
could
yeah,
be
Beautiful guys.
sonically, sometimes we get into weird little jams. Like, no offense to Ben and Parker, but I love jamming with Dave, the drummer. Like, sometimes I'll just turn around because they're screwing around. Like, they got more strings than I do, so there's more maintenance involved.
Spaceship pedal boards.
Yeah, they're doing weird, like, showing off and hitting on girls and stuff. And, like, me and Dave don't have anything else to do on stage, so we'll just do, like, little, like, elevator music to get to the
Yeah.
next song or something.
Yeah,
And that's, like, the only time I'm truly happy.
There's a version of
Everything else is just for stage.
Emo
No, I'm just kidding.
SpongeBob.
It's all fun.
Emo SpongeBob.
Yeah, you know the one that's like bam, 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 bam,
Yeah.
boom, chicka, boom.
I
We have
actually-
video of Tristan playing that at our show.
Play that in
Oh, nice.
between.
Really?
Yeah, we ripped them off.
Sorry.
No.
Our thing.
Ours is sad.
Well, I heard
Ours
somebody
is
was
sad.
like roasting Mac DeMarco, calling Mac DeMarco just sad SpongeBob songs.
That's funny.
And
Kind of true, yeah.
Like when you think about it,
That's a compliment.
I love when people like get really specific with genres like that. Like I don't know if you've listened to Ghost, the band I was talking about earlier. People have genreized that band as Scooby-Doo chase music.
Dang, now I want to
Okay.
listen.
It's
honestly,
not
that sounds super
inaccurate.
enticing.
What would you say your genre is? It's like the worst question I know.
How about like that's what it was called.
Oh, nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That's
Somewhere between.
I want to listen to that,
Somewhere
actually.
between wind chimes blowing too hard
And
and
dial up.
yeah, like the AOL sound. I'd call
That's
it.
my impression of
It's
dial up.
beautiful, yeah.
My goal at this point in the podcast is just to make Gilson lose it off of the screen.
Incredible.
I was just gonna transition. Do you guys have like a comfort warm-up song that you get like each play?
Besides the SpongeBob song, I like to play "I Wish" by Stevie Wonder. That bass line slaps.
Oh yeah.
But that's just a fun little like.
Yeah.
Or anything
that's what I'm here
funky
for,
like
yeah.
that stuff for a Larry Graham's. I don't know. Old funk is a good way for me to warm up. Like it's kind of comforting to me.
Yeah, no, for real.
I like to play that Tool song because Parker hates it.
If my guitar is in a drop tuning, it's
Which it normally is, or?
none of our songs are in drop D.
Yeah, we're fake.
Yeesh.
They're
We're
all in
not actually
standard.
You
hard.
gotta change your genre.
Dude, if I tried to play in any other
I
any
mean-
other tuning besides standard, I would just crash and burn. Parker plays in all these like crazy tunings. And He has like 3 guitars in different tunings, and I'm like, they're all in standard. Just put them in standard.
It's the feel though.
Unholy Confessions by Avenged Sevenfold is really fun to
Nice.
play. Any like 2012 metalcore is really fun to play. Just chugging. If I'm on acoustic guitar, my go-to acoustic guitar song is always, it's in Dadgad also. That's not in standard
love
tuning. Now
Dadgad.
that I've just said I only play in
Yeah,
standard.
now that you lied to us.
I always like mess up the guitar and take it down to Dadgad, and then someone else picks it up and they're like, that's exactly what you did today.
Yeah.
Like, your
And
guitar's
speaking of
brilliant.
that, just to rat on you, your other guitar is in drop C while you're over here
It's in drop
crapping
C
on
sharp.
Yeah.
standard tuning.
You
But
just
He's
crap
just
all
lying
over
to
it.
us.
yeah,
This
he's full of
song-
beans.
This song is In Dreams by Ben Howard. That's my acoustic
That's your name,
go-to
dude.
song. Yeah, my name's Ben.
It's a good song.
I'm Ben.
So I noticed Miss Macy has done very well. Is there anything that you feel like you did different on that song or marketed different? Like, what do you think made it pop?
Do you want the honest answer?
Yeah.
I think someone found it and was like, this is cool. I'm going to throw it on one of my like multi-million user playlists. And then it just like randomly happened. It was really weird
Yeah.
because
That's
like the
wild.
song came out and then like a few days after I was looking at like Spotify for artists and it was like 12 people listening to Miss Macy right now. And I was like, that's
Right.
like more than one. Usually it's like 2, me and Parker or someone. It's like, who else is streaming our song right now? But then it
That's
was
awesome.
like the charts were just going up on it, and I was like, we noticed it was on some playlist that a lot of people subscribe to.
Yeah.
And so I think someone just liked it and like put it on their cool playlist,
That's
which
awesome.
was fortunate.
Yeah.
I wish I
Yeah.
could say that there was like we marketed it this way or something,
Yeah.
but
Super magic going into it. Like
Yeah.
care and tender love
right.
with every song.
It's the
But
bass line.
It is
Yeah.
the song that
It's the
people
bass
say
line.
they like the most, though. Adam
Yeah,
Driver
Adam
is like a
Driver.
funny song to play live
like
because
that
everyone
one.
gets really into it. But Miss Macy is like, that was like a good song. It's going to be stuck in my head for the rest of the day.
Kind of a backtrack. When you're asking about good moments, like playing music, like that chorus, I always have a good time for that song. Because it's like you said, it's kind of, I mean, I don't know if radio friendly is what I'm trying to say, but it gets stuck in my head at least.
Yeah.
Like everything kind of comes together. It's like, oh, that's a familiar like chord progression. Everything's kind of cool. I don't know.
I mean, we kind of
Yeah.
talked about it before the podcast, where there's like poppier like songs, even if it is kind of the cheesy answer to say, it's like pop like riffs or pop like lines, melodies, whatever, kind of get stuck in your head, and even
Yeah.
if they're accompanied by like more indie progressive
Isn't
rock.
that like the point?
I mean, that is
Yeah.
the point, but
Yeah.
like
Pop is popular. That's why I don't
you nailed it.
understand like
I don't
people
understand
who are like, I
the-
don't like pop.
exactly.
It's
I
like
don't-
made to be liked.
Yeah, yeah.
It's the
It's an
point of-
algorithm.
is it's
But, yeah.
popular. What I was getting to is like, yeah, is when you can like blend the two of like doing kind of like a more pop melody or something that's really catchy with like a very like progressive rock kind of like sound. It's magic, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
I think it's Dave Grohl. There's like a video of him talking about that where he wrote Everlong, and he was talking about how he like grew up loving punk rock, obviously, but like also really melodic stuff. I take a lot of inspiration from that, I think, in like Foo Fighters. They do it so well, doing like the punk
Yeah.
meets pop,
Mhm.
not pop punk, but like pop rock type radio good stuff.
I love that genre.
That's actually
No,
the
like,
genre that we
that's
are.
Radio good stuff.
I just
Radio good
call
stuff.
Radio Disney,
call
but
that
different.
Queens of the Stone Age is essentially like that whole like genre of mixing that
Yeah.
pop rock kind of grungier stuff.
Definitely.
Mhm.
He was
Nice.
on that album,
Yeah, doesn't he?
Songs for the Deaf.
That's
Dave
the
Grohl's
red one.
everywhere. Have you noticed that?
He's
He's in this
watching us
room right now.
actually right
Help
now.
us.
He's actually behind the camera right now, nodding in agreement, saying, "Yes, go listen to Pabu."
Forced us to say this.
Thank you, Dave.
I just want to ask, who is Winona?
Y'all are in for a treat tonight. I'd like to welcome our special guest. I'm just kidding.
dang.
The
Dave
real
Grohl is
answer to
Winona.
that, that's less grandiose than you would think it is that Winona from Lake Bear is my game pigeon name on my iPhone.
Hey,
You know, like you could play the pool games
Yeah,
with
when
your
you play, like, 8
yeah.
ball?
And so
Wow.
like anytime I log into Subway Surfers, it's like, welcome back, Winona from Lake Bear.
That's
And
awesome. That's
ever
great
since
to
I
know.
like that.
got an iPhone a long time ago, I was like, I'm gonna make a song one day that's named that.
It's really
I'm
good.
so bad at naming songs though.
Oh yeah, it's hard unless you just name it like what you say in the song, and then it's just
Do we have any?
lame.
I guess Miss Macy's that way.
Ben
Adam Driver
has,
doesn't
like,
say it.
an
Afternoon
entire-
doesn't say it. Winona from Lake Bear doesn't say it. I guess we have a good blend of both.
Me like studying Winona, and I was like, "Where's the name in the song? When does it happen?"
Trying to
Winona
find the
lore.
lyrics.
My
I know who
favorite
Winona is.
instance of that in history is like 2010 crabcore music. Like Attack Attack and Chiodos. Bears on a surfboard, don't drink no more. It's like, what the hell does that mean?
But
What
it
does any of
slaps.
this mean?
Or it's
It
like
does.
some binary 11011100001. It's like,
Like Bon Iver.
all right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Devil Wears Prada, all those metalcore bands. It's just like, they don't say that in the song.
So this is kind of like a oddball question, but do you guys have like any band like rituals before shows or anything like you guys do together to like warm up?
Nothing I'm comfortable discussing here.
That's fair.
But we definitely get into the zone, you know? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know.
You have like a band handshake?
yeah, secret handshake.
a lot of times we're having like an argument or
Oh, that's
like
fun.
Ben just pissed everyone off because he's being a butt face or something. And so
I'm the
a
lead
lot of
singer.
it comes from
you
angst
just
and
feel-
just like passive aggressiveness.
Nice, nice.
I feel like if we had a pre-show ritual, it would just be being pissed off.
I feel like you should definitely make a handshake then.
Yeah, we might. We probably should.
Yeah.
I
Write that
tried
down.
to implement a ritual at one point, and everyone just thought it was dumb.
It was.
What
dumb.
was it?
I don't even remember.
I don't remember. I
That's
blocked
how-
it
It
out.
was dumb.
You
I
were
tried
like,
to do
I'm
like
rose-petaled.
yeah, like you know how you see the bands like
It's like we are
before the
Titan-
show
remember
and
the
they're like
Titans.
huddling up, talking to each other, and you're like, I wish I had friends like that. And then, like,
And
In
your band is-
practicality, it's like
don't,
this is
in
awkward.
practicality, we just argued
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah, I don't think we really do. It's usually like find out if there's a band tab at the door.
That's a
and
ritual in itself.
My
Yeah.
ritual for the longest time was forgetting the computer,
Yeah, or the
and now we
trumpet.
don't play without a computer. The trumpet. That's why we don't play with tracks anymore. I forgot the computer so many times that we realized we play better without a click. That's a fun little experiment,
Yeah.
actually.
Well, we'd like to see the 4-person handshake.
I was gonna say it could be like you could run up to someone and be like scream paw at them or boo at them and they get scared. I was there was something running in my head, but then I started
Right
thinking
point.
about my dog at home is alone and I'm so sad right now. But
Oh my god.
my brain doesn't work very well. I'm so sorry, but
Wait. If you were a tribute band, who would you be?
I'd probably use my time for something more productive. I feel like if there's
That's
a band,
the honest answer here.
I don't know. I'm so sorry.
What tribute bands would you guys be?
Ben told me to stay home, and I didn't.
For sure, Shakira or Celine Dion.
That was my second option.
Yeah. I think Celine Dion would be really successful.
That would be.
One time, me and Ben jammed on the Titanic song for like 4 hours.
That did happen.
Or the whole band, actually. Just that near, far, wherever you are.
Oh, yeah.
My heart
Will Go On, yeah. By Celine
I
Dion.
know that one.
Yeah.
Obviously. For my
Are you tearing
Right.
up?
Kinda, actually.
Gilson's
Tristan,
distracting
what
me.
tribute band would you be in?
Oh man, I was gonna try and think of something clever before you guys got to me because honestly, I've never thought about it.
See how it
I've never
feels?
thought about
Never
it.
thought
You see
about
how
it.
I've
this
never
feels?
thought about like
It's like my backup
what
plan.
tribute band would I actually play in because I want to be in a Modest Mouse tribute band, but we do all the songs as if they're like reggae songs.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
That'd be beautiful.
So we do
I would
float
listen.
on, but it's like it will all float on.
Doing the cockroach.
Yeah.
We could make this happen. You can make your
I
dreams
think.
come true.
Are you free next week?
Are we gonna make this reggae Modest Mouse tribute band happen? In paper?
What would its name be?
Could you be called Modest Blouse and just wear like very modest clothing the whole time?
Turtlenecks only.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a very modest blouse.
Yeah.
Anyway.
You said you forget your computer to a lot of your shows. Do you guys
Yeah.
have any like horrible like things that have happened during a live show? What's
Give us
the
your
worst show?
show
I
experience.
think they've gotten
Experience.
progressively worse
'Cause
since we began. 'Cause we
'Cause
started
everybody-
out strong. It was basically like it could have been a Super Bowl halftime show, and then we just got
We
worse.
were
Because Ben
Jason
started forgetting
Derulo.
stuff. Ben forgets lyrics. Ben forgets how to play guitar. Ben forgets where he's at.
His
so.
computer.
For me, probably like one time I was playing. And I just like forgot I was playing.
Yeah,
I just forgot what was happening, and I didn't know. I don't know. I don't remember obviously, but that was a disaster for me. 'Cause
Was it? Or did
I don't know.
you
I
just
don't
on
remember.
autopilot?
Like,
Okay, cool.
But
That's a good answer.
that happens sometimes. My brain just turns off during like in general. And
It's like
sometimes
halfway
it
through the
happens
song, or
when
is
we're
it at
playing.
least like you get through the song and then it's like, all right, good job, brain. We
What?
can take 5.
Yeah. It really sucks when you're like, dude, this little lick would sound really cool, and then you like, it just doesn't. That happens a lot,
Yeah.
and so I'd say it's spread out. I haven't
Okay.
had like one show where I'm like, man, that was really bad, but I think we do a pretty good job.
There've been a couple of shows where I was like, that kind of sucked.
Well, Ben, yeah, no, I thought.
Well, the worst thing that ever happened on stage was I like stepped on the input to my pedal board 4 times during the same
Oh
song
man.
no.
and like kept unplugging it.
Kept going out.
Everyone was with it though. They were like, let's
Yeah.
see if he does it. Like, they're like, do it again. It's like SpongeBob when he comes out with the mop. The last show we did, my string broke during like that ending part of Scrape Me Silver where it's like real heavy and I'm the only one playing the riff in that one part. So it was just silent.
Oh, no.
So it's supposed to be like bam, and then everyone comes in and it was just like bam, which was
That's
actually
kinda cool,
really
though.
cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you'd never
I tried to
heard
play
the
it
song
off.
before, then yeah.
Yeah. You know, most shows I come out of being like, that was fun. That
Yeah,
was a
yeah.
good show. I think
And
as
that's
long
what
as you have
matters.
fun, then your energy level is there and you can like feed the energy level to the crowd and they'll be with you.
Right.
If you're not there and you're not having a good time, then no one else is going to have a good time, which
Why
is like
do
how
it?
it was at first. It was like, I'm really nervous. And once you get past that and just break some shit on stage and run into people, then everyone's having a good time.
They're like, let's
Yeah.
go. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like at that point it doesn't really matter because like if you're having
Yeah.
a good time, like who cares?
Yeah.
That
That's
first
the
show
whole
back
point.
from
Yeah, that's
COVID
just
was
life.
super fun.
Yeah.
I remember just like, it was at the deli and just
The
getting
deli's
on
always
stage.
fun.
We started a mosh pit. A
Nice.
table
Wow.
got
Like
knocked
tables
over.
flying.
Just
Crowd
good to
surfed.
like let it loose again. Yeah,
So you guys have been playing out of town. How was that experience?
it's weird. We have a lot of homies here in Oklahoma City.
Yeah.
And so like we'll play at Speakeasy or Pony Boy or wherever, and it's, you know, all of our friends are going to be there. People who know us are going to be there. After a while, it's like, I think we've started to gain a following. It's like, I don't know who that person is, but they've been at our past couple shows.
Yeah.
And it's like, I've recognized what like building a market in one city is like. And then we went to Dallas and played a show there, and Beach House was playing 2 blocks away.
Oh, man.
And there was
At the
like
Bomb Factory.
2 people in the
Yeah.
crowd. It was hard.
And it was the other bands.
It's like a glorified
Oh,
practice, though.
Yeah,
That was a good time though.
it was fun.
I had a great
Yeah.
time.
but it's definitely like, all right, I just drove a long ways for there to be like an empty
Yeah.
room. It's what happens. And I mean, I worked in live sound for a long time, and I see that happen a lot,
Yeah.
just being a live sound engineer. And like, it happens with shows, but also from seeing that all the time, I've seen bands come back and they're like be a bigger crowd
Right.
each time, which is
Yeah.
really cool.
That's what it's about.
I always
Yeah,
see it as like
yeah.
another like loop under your belt or whatever, kind of like a transition.
Yeah.
You make
Into the
friends
scene.
too. Like
Mhm.
we played with a band called Primo Danger in Dallas,
Right.
and then they've played with us up here in Pony Boy, and then we're gonna play with them again at the deli here soon.
Oh,
So
nice.
it's always like
That's-
even if it's like no one's there, like there's still like people there. There's like no crowd. Like who
Right.
cares? You still make friends. Like make friends with the bartender, with the other bands. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just fun.
Yeah.
Talking to people in different places, I guess.
We got a dope
Yeah.
ass hotel with a sick pool that night.
It was cool. It was
too,
on the
so
roof. We got cool pictures.
I think the only 2 out of town places we've played is Tulsa and Dallas. Yeah.
Sweet. Thank you guys for coming on.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
being
having
here.
us.
Yeah, let's be here.
Is there anything else coming up that you guys want to promote?
We're probably playing somewhere soon. Check our Instagram
Put
at
it out there.
Pabu Band. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple Music.
Woo.
I'm
We're
working
writing.
on the Wikipedia page. I'm not even kidding. It's coming
writing
soon.
the
So
Wikipedia
keep an eye out.
page.
Yeah.
We'll probably be doing something.
Cool. They're doing something.
They're doing something.
Check it out.
So Ben's being humble right now. We've been grinding away on just writing badass songs. So here in like
Nice.
2 or 3, maybe a year, maybe 8, we're gonna have some cool music for you.
Can't wait.
Ben's
Okay.
just being
I'm excited.
modest. We're actually killing
I'm
it.
super excited.
New music.
Yeah,
That was
that-
the other like.
That's been our focus is like more writing because we've had like our set list pretty much, and like it's not like what song are we cutting, it's like we're playing our set. And so I think right now we're
Yeah.
kind of like, okay, let's
you
kind
know,
of
keep
build the
playing the same
repertoire. Like
songs.
even when we put up some poopy songs, it's like, well, we don't have to play that song, but we have that song.
Yeah.
That's kind of been, I feel like that's kind of the direction we're going. We're just gonna, not that we're just gonna start making trash, but
Right.
Unless
or
you're
we'll try
into it.
not to, but probably some new music soon.
Right on.
Awesome.
Cool.
Well, thank you guys so much.
Yeah.
Everybody follow them on Instagram. And where can we see your music videos?
Dude, y'all should actually check out our YouTube. We've been making some
Dude.
like shorts.
You
Like
should check out
David
our YouTube.
makes a lot of cool, like we have Pab vlogs come out.
Let's
Ooh.
go.
But they're
Okay.
actually really well made. Like David puts a lot of work into them, and they're kind of cool. Like
Yeah.
if you ever just need something to watch and have nothing else to do, you might as well look at our YouTube. And
yeah.
You
I
should
made a
also
video
follow
once,
the-
and they don't like it because it wasn't as good as Dave's. But it's on there too. You can check it out, and they're just kind of fun way to like if you wanted to see any of this stuff. Like
Yeah.
we made one when we went to Dallas, like just little clips,
Nice.
like behind the scene, like stuff we've filmed on our phones and stuff. So
We're
Yeah.
just Pabu on YouTube.
Pabu.
On Instagram, we're Pabu Band. On YouTube, you can watch our video for Winona from Lake Bear,
Also,
which aired
Pabu
2
Goes
months
Deep.
ago. A lot of giggles and tears. You'll laugh, you'll cry.
Mustaches.
There's a lot of good content.
Wonderful. Well, thank you guys so much for coming out to Soundheads
Yeah.
and being on our podcast.
Nice.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
the
Soundheads.
podcast.
Appreciate y'all.
Of course. No, thank
Thank
you
you
guys,
guys.
for coming out and being on the podcast and stuff. And
Appreciate Gilson.
Thanks for having us.
Gilson,
Providing
33rd
space.
Street
Thank you.
Studio.
33rd Street.
Let's
Check out his
go.
studio. He
Check
does
it
good
out.
work.
I made
This
him
is the
laugh.
lobby.
Gilson Giggles.
Yep.
That should be your nickname.
Good old.
Giggling Gilson.
Well, thank you
Awesome.
guys for tuning in.
Thanks for being on our
Thanks for being on
podcast.
the
Pab-
podcast.
Pabucast. Catch us next week. And remember to keep your head in the sounds.
Thanks, Dave Grohl.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave.